The winter dawn had barely begun, peeling open the pale sky, when Millionaire Aris Halim, a man feared in boardrooms and worshipped on magazine covers, stepped out of his black Mercedes and marched toward the orphanage he secretly funded. Everything about Aris was sharp, his gait, his tone, his decisions, but that morning something inside him was trembling. He had received an anonymous letter the night before, handwritten in shaky ink. "Your son is alive." Those 4 words shattered 12 years of grief that he had buried behind wealth, power, and iron discipline. The orphanage gates screeched open, revealing children running and laughing, their worn jackets flapping like tiny wings. Aris's eyes scanned them hungrily, desperately, searching for any face that might tug at old memories. Then he saw him, a thin boy with storm-gray eyes, standing by the frozen pond alone, his hands clasped behind him, his expression hauntingly calm. Something inside Aris lurched. Those eyes, they were the same as his wife's, his late wife, a woman whose death had broken him in ways no one ever saw. "Who's that boy?" he asked sharply. But before the caretaker could answer, a voice spoke behind him, soft yet steady. "Sir, that boy lives in my house." Aris turned to see a woman, Nimra, a simple schoolteacher in a faded navy shawl, standing with quiet dignity. She looked nothing like the kind of woman who would confront a millionaire, yet she held herself with unusual courage. "Explain," Aris demanded, walking toward her. Nimra took a deep breath, as if gathering courage from somewhere deep inside her chest. "I found him 2 years ago," she said. "He was wandering near the railway station, cold, lost, barely able to speak. And when I asked his name, he only said one thing: 'Papa will come.'" Aris felt the earth tilt beneath him. "What?" Nimra nodded. "For months, he refused to tell me anything else. He didn't remember where he lived. He didn't remember how he got here. He didn't remember his mother. Except one detail." She paused. "He said she wore a necklace with a broken silver feather." Aris's breath stopped. His late wife, Mariam, owned that exact necklace, one of a kind, custom-made. Suddenly the wind felt colder, sharper, slicing into his chest with memories he had locked away. "Where is the boy now?" His voice cracked, betraying a tremble he hadn't let anyone hear in years. "Behind you," Nimra whispered. Aris slowly turned. The boy had walked closer, watching him with those storm-gray eyes, filled with fear and recognition. "Do you know me?" Aris whispered. The boy blinked, studying him for a long, painful moment, then nodded once, slowly, as if the memory had been buried in the darkest part of his soul. "Papa," he whispered. Aris staggered back. His legs threatened to give out. His cold facade began to crumble. But before he could reach for the boy, Nimra gently stepped between them. "Sir, there's something you need to hear before you take him," she said, firmly. "This boy, your son, he didn't just get lost. He was left." A storm ripped through Aris. "Left? By who? Why?" Nimra hesitated, her eyes glistening. "By someone you trusted." Aris felt his soul twist. Anger, fear, confusion. Everything collided inside him until his voice was barely human. "Who? Tell me!" But Nimra didn't speak. Instead, she opened her bag and handed him a small, scarred notebook. "This was in his pocket the day I found him," she murmured. "Read the last page. It will break you, sir, but it is the truth." Aris's trembling hands opened the notebook. His eyes scanned the shaky writing, and then his entire world collapsed under him. Because the final sentence read, "If Papa ever finds this, tell him Uncle Tahir took me. Tell him he lied. Tell him I saw everything." Aris felt his heart freeze. His brother, his only brother. The betrayal hit him like a blade. His knees buckled. The boy stared at him, scared but hopeful, as if praying his father would not disappear again. And Nimra, the woman who had rescued him from the streets, watched the millionaire crumble, not out of weakness, but out of 12 years of pain finally surfacing. The truth was out, but the truth was only the beginning. And as the wind howled through the orphanage courtyard, Nimra whispered, "Sir, before you decide anything, you need to know what that boy remembers. Because it wasn't just kidnapping, it was murder." Aris's chest tightened as he followed Nimra into the quiet staff room. where a single dim bulb buzzed above them like an anxious heartbeat. The boy, Ayan, stood nearby, almost ghost-like, his small hands twisting the hem of his sweater. Ariz wanted nothing more than to pull him close and make up for 12 stolen years. But Nimra placed a gentle hand on his arm. "Please, let me tell you everything before emotions cloud your judgment." He nodded stiffly, swallowing the storm rising in his throat. Nimra sat, folded her shawl carefully, and began speaking with the softness of someone carrying a burden far too heavy for her frame. 2 years ago, I was returning from school when I found him near the station. He wasn't just lost. He was terrified, shaking so badly he could barely breathe. When I tried to comfort him, he kept repeating one sentence: "It wasn't an accident." Ariz felt something cold crawl up his spine. What wasn't an accident? Nimra's eyes filled with sorrow. "Your wife's accident." Ariz's fists tightened. "My wife died in a car crash. The police confirmed." "The police were paid," Nimra whispered. Those words struck him like gunfire. She continued. "He said he saw a man arguing with his mother that night. A man who told her, 'Sign the shares over or you will lose everything.'" Ariz's voice cracked. "Shares? What shares?" Nimra sighed. "Your wife left her company shares in Ayan's name. If anything happened to you, he would become the largest shareholder." Suddenly everything clicked. The betrayal, the disappearing child, the staged accident. Ariz staggered backward. "No, Tahir would never—" "Sir," Nimra interrupted softly. "He would." Ayan described him. Tears welled in the millionaire's eyes, raw, unhidden, human. Why didn't he tell anyone?" "Trauma," Nimra whispered. "And threats. He said Tahir told him, 'If you speak, your father will die too.' He was a child, sir. He believed it." Ariz felt the weight of 12 lost years crushing his lungs. He knelt beside his son. "Ayan, look at me." The boy lifted his eyes slowly, fearful, searching. "Did Uncle Tahir hurt you?" Ayan hesitated, then nodded, tiny, broken. Ariz's rage burst like wildfire, but Nimra quickly knelt beside them. "Sir, please listen carefully. Your brother is looking for him. I've seen men watching my house these last few weeks." Ariz froze. "Watching?" "Yes, because Ayan's memories are returning. And if he remembers everything, it could destroy the man who took everything from you." Ariz cupped his son's face. "You're safe now. I will protect you with my life." But Nimra shook her head. "Not here. You need to take him far from this city. And you need proof before confronting Tahir. Otherwise his influence, his money, his connections, everything will bury the truth." Again, Ariz looked at the notebook trembling in his hand. "This is proof." "Not enough," Nimra whispered. "But there's more." She reached into her shawl pocket and pulled out a small flash drive. "This was hidden in Ayan's shoes when I found him. He didn't know what it was. But I recognized your wife's handwriting on the tape." Ariz's hands trembled as he held it. "What's in it?" Nimra took a deep breath. "A video message, recorded by your wife the night she died." The room tilted. Ariz's heart screamed. He plugged the device into Nimra's old laptop. The screen flickered, and then Mariam appeared, alive, beautiful, crying. "Ariz, if you're watching this, something has gone terribly wrong. Tahir threatened me today. He wants Ayan's shares. If anything happens to me, please protect our son." Ariz collapsed to the floor, the sound strangled in his throat. Ayan crawled into his arms. Nimra looked away to hide her tears. After the message ended, silence consumed the room, thick, suffocating, sacred. Then Ariz stood, holding his son tightly. His eyes burned, not with grief but with purpose. "Nimra, you saved him. You saved my family's truth. I owe you everything." She shook her head gently. "You owe me nothing, sir. Just keep your son safe." Ariz took Ayan's hand. "I will, but you're coming with us." Nimra froze. "What? No, this is your family matter. You protected him when I couldn't." Ariz said, voice breaking, "And my brother won't stop. He's dangerous. I won't leave you here alone." She hesitated, eyes softening. "Are you sure?"